Hello everyone! When working with shaders, an often overlooked aspect is the fact that we can animate them. In this video, I just want to show you how much life we can bring to our games by animating some shaders. So let's just say that we want to make some kind of Find Waldo or Where's Waldo game in which we look at a picture, and maybe not this one, we look at a picture like this with a bunch of things in it and we want to find something special, some kind of intruder or something like that, which is this little duck here in the middle. Now, if we were to leave this game as it is, well, it would be pretty boring because, yeah, you just look at the picture and you try finding something. But what if we could animate this to make it look like it's in some kind of book, or maybe to even be able to move this hourglass to play the detective and try to look closer to find hidden details in the image, or even to add a hint to the player in case he cannot find the little duck here. Well, we can do all of these by using shaders. And let's again say that this is the cover and we want this cover to peel off our book to maybe reveal the first level. Well, I have a shader, and the funny part is that I don't even need to know what it does. If I manage to set up the shader, all I have to do is to fiddle around with the parameters, and as you can see, this progress parameter is the one that is animating my peel effect. Okay, so I'm happy with this, but how do I animate it? Because in the editor, of course, I can move this slider, but I want to animate it in game. To animate it, I just have to go to my script. Now, in this script, I'm already listening for the peel action pressed event, which is basically just an action that I have defined here in my input map in the project settings. So whenever the player presses space, I am going to peel this cover. And how can I animate now this peel effect? Well, I can just create a twin. And to make a twin, I just have to write var twin and set it to be equal to create twin. And I can use this twin to twin a property. Now, all I have to do is just to decide which property of my sprite do I have to select in order to twin this progress. Well, the property that has to be selected is the material. Since the script is already on the sprite, I can just write material. And now the property that I want is, well, this progress. But how do I take it? Well, I can hover over this and you see that it's under shader parameter / progress. So what I could do is to even right click and copy property path and put here a string, and you see that I got exactly this shader parameter. Now with this I can simply add the other parameters, which are the final value and the duration. Well, as you can see, the initial value is 0 and the final value is 1, so I can just go to my script here and just write 1.0, and for the duration I could be adding something like 1.0 so that it takes roughly 1 second. So now if I press F5, you'll see that after pressing the spacebar, the cover is peeled off and is showing the first level in which the player can explore. But I do not want the player to only be able to explore. I want the player to play like a real detective and to zoom in there to inspect every little detail. And to do that, I want to be able to animate this magnifying glass as well. So if I now go to my magnifier and go to the magnifier GD script, what? What do you mean this was a character body 2D before? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, but if we take a look at this script now, you'll see that I am again waiting for the isActionPressed input event on the inspect action. And if I look at this, you'll see that this inspect action is on the left mouse button. What I want is again to animate some properties. So I could animate first of all the scale, and you saw my hand motion. I maybe want to rotate it a bit. So what I could do is to again create a twin, and I already have a variable defined here because I want to use this twin to zoom out as well. So I am just going to say this twin equals to create twin. And what do I want to do with this twin? Well, first of all, as I said, I want to change the scale. If I zoom in, if I get closer, then the scale is going to be a bit smaller. So I'm just going to write twin property, and I'm going to change the scale of this object, so of self, to what? Well, I want this to be the scale, which I can get through this scale value. So I'm just going to write scale. And I want the final value to not be a vector2 of 1 and 1, but maybe something smaller. So I could just write vector2.1 and multiply it by 0.8. And this is going to multiply x and y of the vector2 by 0.8. And we are going to basically have vector2 of 0.8, 0.8. Okay, and finally, how fast should this happen? Maybe let's give it 0.5 seconds. If I now press F5, let's see what happens. Of course, I have to peel this off. And if I click, you see that my magnifier gets closer. Now, what if I want the magnifier to get back whenever I no longer press? Well, I could again be creating a twin that does basically the same thing, but whenever releasing this, and instead of having the scale to be 1 multiplied by 0.8, I can just have the scale to be 1 again. If I now press F5, you'll see that, again, maybe I just have to hide this so I don't have to peel every time. But if I press and afterwards release, it gets back to the original position. Okay, now for the other properties, I can just do the same thing. So twin.twin property and select what property I want to twin. Again, self. Then I want to twin the rotation, but in degrees because I like degrees, maybe 35, and also a duration of, again, 0.5. And let's do basically the same thing, but this time in reverse. So move to 0 degrees. If I now press F5, you'll see that I have a little issue. And the first issue is that I have to peel this cover every time. So I'm just gonna hide it forever. But the issue that I have is that whenever I want to zoom in, you see that it rotates only afterwards, and then it zooms out and rotates afterwards. If I want to do both at the same time, what I have to do is to twin in parallel. So what I'm going to do is to say twin.set parallel, and this is going to be by default to true. And let's do the same thing here. And if I now press F5, you'll see that, oh, this moves and it's very, very nice. Okay, but I still haven't modified the shader. You see, to this magnifier, I have added a lens, which is basically just this rectangle here. And this lens has this shader, which can be modified. And if I move the power of this, you see that it distorts the image more and it zooms it in a bit more. So let's just stick to somewhere around 0.6. So what I'm gonna do is to set it to 0.2 by default, and we want to move to 0.6 when we zoom in. So how do we do that? Well, again, just as before, we have to twin a property. So I'm just going to copy and paste this twin property, but this time instead of twinning self, I'm going to twin the material of the lens. Now I have here a reference to my lens, so I'm just going to say lens.material. And just as before, we look at this power thing, and you see that it's under shader parameter / power. So I'm just going to say shader parameter / power, and I want to change this power to be 0.6, and in reverse, I want to apply this whenever I am done with zooming in. So I want to put it back to 0.2. If I now press F5, you'll see that if I click, the distortion is happening. You see that this eye is getting much, much bigger, and we can finally see that there is some romance between this right frog and this left frog because of this very, very obvious bouquet of flowers. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, what we want to do is to find this duck. And yeah, maybe we are very skilled at this game and we can find it, but maybe we have trouble observing where this is. And we might want to give our player a little hint on how to do this. Well, let's just highlight the duck so that the player can see. Now in the script, just as before, you'll see that I'm waiting for some action again. And what I want to do is to apply a shader, a gloss shader over my object whenever this action is pressed. Now this shader looks pretty much like this. I can move the progress bar to make this glossy effect, and I have this kind of mask here to only gloss over the shape of the duck. So if I want to see this in practice, you'll see that the progress moves like this, and it's making for a pretty nice effect. Now, of course, I don't want to bore you by showing you the exact same thing, so this time I'm going to create a method to show you how we twin such a method. I'm going to simply write func, maybe gloss, why not, and let's say the amount that we want to gloss with, so I'm gonna say progress, that's a float, and what we want to do is to set the shader parameter of the sprite's material to this progress value. So I'm just going to say material dot set shader parameter, and in order to set this parameter I have to specify again the name of the parameter. But this function already knows that my parameter is going to sit under shader underscore parameter, so all I have to do is to simply write progress, and be careful because this is case sensitive, so I have to write progress with an uppercase P, so I'm gonna say progress. Okay, and what do I want to set it to? Well, I wanted to set it to this progress value that I have here. And what's nice is that in this function I could be doing many other things, and we do not care because we can animate it nonetheless by using again a twin. So I'm just gonna create here a twin, so let's just say var twin equals to create twin, and let's not forget to also give it a type, not tweet, twin. Okay, and with this twin what I want to do is to twin this time a method, and I have now to just specify which method. I want to twin the gloss method, and I want to twin it from what? Well, from -0.2 to which value? Well, from -0.2 to 0.6, so I'm just gonna write 0.6 here. And for how long do I want to twin this? Well, let's just say 0.3 seconds. Let's see how this looks. If I now press F5, if I press age, yay, I get some highlight that hints towards this little duck. So yes, as you saw, we can add more and more shaders and animate them, and maybe next time when you make a game, you will think about doing this in order to make it look even more engaging. And if you like this video, you might think of subscribing to the channel. And again, thanks for watching. Thanks again to my Ko-fi supporter and my channel members, and see you in the next one. Bye bye!